Lost in thought. What do we got going on in the chat? If we have anything going on in the chat, we have our friend Stitch here. Stitch, my favorite Stitch. Says, hi, time to lose weight. I will be back on after I go for a run. All right. I'll be here. I'll be here for a bit. Stitch, let me urge patience and kindness to yourself. Do not attempt to lose weight in a punishing way. A lot of people do. Where they literally, almost as if they're seeking a form of vengeance against themselves. Be kind to yourself. You will get to where you need to be. My cat's here hanging out with us. Tonight's the night. I'm going to try to get to bed early. If anyone needs breath work, ask before 6:30. Thereabouts. Somewhere around there. Could be a little after. Nah, you know what? If you need breath work, you need breath work. Who am I to say when to ask? We do it when it needs to be done, right? Hey, Skits. Skits, how are you? Man, I love the little song that you did. It was awesome. The whole thing, the video, the song, you're singing. Skits says, enjoy your run. Stitch, my friend. I hope so. Speaking of working out, running, fitness, you're I faded out so quick. So hello, my friend Betty. How are you? Oh, I don't know why that reminded me. Our friend Martine was going to go live. I didn't see any notifications. Oh, hello, Kat. How are you? Bud Files is here. Bud Files. Hey, Kat. Do you remember the last unanswered question? Skit says, well, thank you. How are you? Oh, my short. You liked it? I loved it. It was awesome. Thank you, bro. You had a good day today, Skits. An awesome live stream. Put out an excellent short. Kat had an excellent short as well. Skits says, hi to Betty. And hi, Kat, and hi to Bud Files. Appreciate you guys coming in to hang out. We'll see what happens tonight. We had a lively afternoon live stream. We talked a lot about fitness. We talked about losing weight. And we wrapped it up with, really, I could say we talked about perception, changing our perception. Let's see. So, Kat, the last unanswered question is in chapter 21, reason versus perception. I'm just now finishing up chapter 21. Finish it up tomorrow. Been reading a section a day, working my way again through the text as well as the workbook. Sorry. And I actually just got a new copy of the pamphlet of psychotherapy as well as Song of Prayer. I had it online that I would read through occasionally. It's nothing like having the book in your hand. I feel like I can't study online. I can't do my favorite type of reading, which I like to consider contemplative reading, meaning before I go to bed, I want to read something that is planting a seed into my subconscious, and I go to sleep, and it works. When I wake up, that seed starts to blossom through the course of my life. Hey, Daniel. Daniel says, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you, my friend. Nice to see you. Daniel says, hey, skits in chat. So here's the last unanswered question. Look around the world. Look around your mind. Look around your room. Look in the mirror. Is this what I would see? Do I want to see this? It's an interesting thing in light of the conversation that we had about losing weight, about making some changes. So we might look at a photograph of ourselves. We might look in the mirror and we would say, is this what I would see? Do I want to see this? And we might make a judgment on our physical appearance. That's not what the Course is saying. If you can change your perspective, your perception on how you look, letting go of the judgments. Judgment is this the ego seeking to uphold its own standards. Letting go of that and asking, is this what I would see? Do I want to see this? Meaning the perception that I have of myself, that I'm not enough, that I'm not good enough, that I need to make changes to please someone, including my own ego, and not for the sake of being happier, not for the sake of being healthier. No change is ever really lasting until we address that, until we say, do I want this? And then address why do we want it? Do we think that changing our appearance in any way is going to make us any happier if we haven't addressed the reason of happiness, if we haven't addressed the reason for our unhappiness? Because we'll find something else to hate about ourselves. Trust me. I speak of experience. That's probably many and many and many of us still. Hey, Maddie. Maddie, how are you? Maddie, I didn't see you pop up on my notifications. Did you tie flies? I hope I didn't miss you, my friend. I did miss you. I just brought your channel up. Maddie, I apologize. Maddie says, yes, I went live. It's okay. YouTube not sending out notifications. Yes, sometimes they're not, but this is on me because I know it's Sunday, and Sunday I should have checked. I apologize. Also, Maddie, I feel bad for myself because I really enjoy hanging out with you and Chloe. Maddie says, not at all, Mr. Yogi. It's actually something I look forward to every week. Hanging out with Maddie and Chloe. Of course, I look forward to Thursdays, hanging out with Kat. Little things in your life that bring you some joy. And sometimes, sometimes joy is not sometimes joy could be a rare commodity in our everyday lives. It shouldn't be. Joy is a natural state. When you don't experience joy, something's wrong. But all too often, something's wrong. Course Miracles is about making things right. It's about self-correction. The Tao Te Ching is about making things right. Buddhism is about making things right. Yoga is about making things right. There might be another path for you. Does the same thing. Skits sup, Maddie? You legend, bro. Maddie says, Skits, bro, much respect. Hey, make sure you guys check out Skits' new short. Awesome. I gotta tell you, Skits, my favorite stuff of you is the stripped down, raw, just skits. Let's see. Hey, Marlon. Marlon says, "Hey there, hot, sexy Yogi Bear." Surely you're talking about the cartoon. You must be talking about the cartoon. Good says, "Thank you, Yogi brother. Um, it is real me. I'd like to strip down skits." Skit says, "Good day, Dundee bro. So what's the upcoming week for you guys? What's coming up? Any big plans?" Maddie, how about you? Any plans for the week? How are you feeling, actually? Hey, Michael. Michael says, "Hey there, Yogi. Sorry I'm late. Had a premiere." Oh, Michael, I'm sorry I missed your premiere. I'm missing all kinds of stuff today. Let's see. Marla says, "You're my one and only Yogi Bear, Sir Eric McHattie." You say that to all the yogis, I bet. Oh, great. So now I won't feel too bad about missing today. Maddie says, "I'll be tying flies a few nights this week." Hey, Maddie, you're not still considering ending the aquariums, are you? Michael says, "And I wrote the first story of chapter one." Awesome. Hey, Dan. Dan, how are you? I missed all kinds of stuff today because I also missed Dan and Jace. It's good says he'd like to strip down me chat, but don't worry. I um, I only ever stripped down to my shorts. That's a relief. As much as I like your skits, Semper says to embrace self-correction is to become a co-creator with the cosmos, a willing participant in the ongoing evolution of consciousness. It is to understand that. Thanks, Sniper. Perfection is not a destination, but the eternal act of returning to one's true alignment. I like that. Kat says, "Say Yogi this morning. Lee suggested I randomly find a verse in Course in Miracles. He also said, just trust the verse was on joy and happiness." I wanted to talk about trust for Lee, as he said that was a bit of an issue for him right now. And you know what? I don't even remember, what did we talk about this morning? No idea. I thought it was a good talk, but now I don't. Now I don't remember what it was. I'm so glad that Lee has an interest in the course. Our friend Nature Guy, One Nature Guy, he's interested in studying the course. My suggestion: dive in. Just do it. It's the same suggestion with meditation. It's my same suggestion with breath work. Do breath work every day. Meditate every day. Hey, Maddie, do you have any trouble gripping a rubber ball? There's a studies have shown that it's actually very good at lowering blood pressure. A couple times a day, gripping, relaxing, gripping, relaxing. Give me 1 second, guys. Um, so I was going to talk to Lee about manual for teachers, the characteristics of God's teachers. Probably one of the most vital ones is trust. Give me 1 second, guys. Sending a text. Where are we? Let's get to saying hi to everyone. Michael says, and this time it makes sense. Sometimes I hate being a perfectionist. No, it's good to be one. Um, Especially with your artwork, you know, and writing is an art form. Uh, let's see. Manny says, not at all, Miss Yogi. I have a very strong grip. So if you could get a rubber ball, um, and it's actually a really good form of exercise anyway. Squeeze the ball, hold. I'll send you the information that I have. Been looking up specific ways to lower your blood pressure that you can do anytime during the day, along with the breath work, squeezing the ball, other forms of any type of isometric. So if you're pushing your hands together, start with a holding for a count of 10. You can even do pulling. All these different forms of isometrics will help static contraction, will help lower the blood pressure. As well, good for muscle toning, and you can do anywhere at any time. Hey, well, can we please do some breath work? I need to try, but I don't know if I'll be able to, but not in a good place at this moment. Yes, we can. That's okay, Will, about missing the streams. You know I'm here. You know when I'm here. You also know you can reach out to me. Dan says, good, just practicing some string work. Um, Manny says about ending the aquarium streams. I'm not sure, Yogi. I was going to give it a try, but I may reconsider. I wish I could. I bet you Cat, and I bet you Toy Pups, who's here. Hey, Toy Pups, will back me up on this. How important they are. Manny, I love having a place I can go to anytime and just hang out. Simple says to skits. I'd love to strumming on the Yuki. Let me know when you would like to do some breath work, Willa. Let's see. Uh, um, Ama, Amala, Amala. I know that's wrong. I appreciate you saying hi, my friend. I'm sorry that I mispronounced your name. Let's see. Marlon has love spam for Willa. Thank you, Marlon. Took up says I'm so bad. Um, I can talk to myself for or not for hours. Let's say things no one understands. As long as you understand, that's what counts. Maddie says, "Thank you, Miss Yogi." Yeah, thank you, Maddie. Honestly, I love what you're doing. Bula says 4x4 breathing helped a friend when she wasn't able to do any other kind of breath work. Might be an idea. We can do 4x4. Hey, William, how are you? Bula says yes, thanks. So no, just been says well, she'll text me later, explain what happened and everything later. Got you. All right, as soon as possible. Let me get to the bottom of the chat, and I'm almost there. Hey, Share Bear, I'm a hell. So special you create this channel today. So sweet. You go to the channel. So Amahel. That seems pronounceable, right? Kat says, "Hey Maddie, I have a question. There's a lot of work for you to set that up live streaming on the fish tanks." It's a good question. Thank you so much, Maddie. Um, to a true friend of all, will pick you up if you fall. True gentleman with a huge heart. I know that from the start. I'm so blessed to have you, friend, from Scotland. We love, we from Scotland, love we send. Beautiful, man. Even Maddie's gifts come with a gift. How amazing is that? Of course, the deepest gift is Maddie's friendship, which is amazing. It says, I don't know what to start with. Well, hey, Share Bear. Stitch. Honest, the best thing to do, walking. Start with walking religiously every day. Don't miss a day. Oh, Maddie says it takes 1 minute. Maddie says, Cat, it only takes 1 minute. Toy Pup says, fully a poet. All right, so guys, if you will excuse me for a second, I'm going to do 4x4 breathing with our friend Willa. Willa, are you ready? So, are you walking at a brisk pace? Hey, Long John. Cat says, why not then? You never know what person in need of gentleness may come by. And selfish me really loves you that you're there. Me too, Cat. Me too. And you summed it up really nicely. Willow is ready. So if anyone would like to participate, guys, we're going to do breathing in for 4, noticing the pause, exhaling for 4. Not going to do any big meditation. We did do one earlier today. We just want to get the breath work in. We want that immediate benefits. We also want me to stop talking about it and actually start doing it. So here we go. Gets us in. You guys could close your eyes. Take a big breath in through the nose. Let it out as a sigh through the mouth. Breathing in, sigh. One more time. Breathing in nice and deep. Shake out the arms. Letting go of any tension that you have. Letting the shoulders drop. Bringing some awareness to the breath as you breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. In through the nose, exhale through the nose. But now everyone should remember the Ujjayi breath, the victorious breath. We're going to breathe like the ocean. That gentle ha. Not a meow. That's my cat. Just practice breathing in, making that ha sound, breathing out. Don't worry about how long it takes. Don't worry about counting. Sound like the ocean. Breathing in, breathing out. I'm going to guide you through 10 rounds, and we're going to begin. So breathe in for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. And in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. And in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. And in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. Last breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. And relax. Sit quietly with your eyes closed, allowing the breath to return to normal, relaxed, at ease, responsive. And when you're ready, open your eyes, and I'll see you in the chat. Thank you, Maddie. Stitch says, I don't know, I walk like a normal person. Well, what we want to do is turn our walking into a form of exercise. Most people amble. So a normal person might walk 2 miles an hour. We want to up the game. You're welcome, Marlon. No need to apologize, Maddie. I appreciate you. Maddie says, apologies, Miss Yogi. I can't allow anyone to disrespect my friend. Maddie, you never have to apologize to me, especially for the reasons you do what you do. There's one thing I know for certain. One thing I know on YouTube is what a huge heart you have and what you would do for your friends. Skid says, thank you, Yokester. Namaste, everyone. Namaste to you, Skits. Thunga says, maybe laugh with the cat's meow. Yeah, she needs to chime in every so often. Been a bit of a pest today. Sorry, I shouldn't say that in front of her. Well, it says, thank you, Yogi. It didn't help a lot. Well, it helped. I'll explain later to you, but just couldn't because of pain. But I'm fine and it helped a bit. Thank you, my friend. I'm sorry that it helped a bit. If you pop in a bit later, we can try another breath and see if it helps. Marlon is sending you love and a hug. I'm going to take my supplement early. I've been forgetting. Manny says, thank you. I appreciate you, Miss Yogi. I don't like intervention, hence only timeout. I'm sort of making amends on certain interventions. You know, I think, Maddie, you know me pretty well. So I think by now people know when the time is right. Do you know? I'm sort of leaving it up to people. People like you, Maddie, people like Sniper, Eric Lapointe, take my pill. So later tonight, going to be live for at least another half hour. Um, we'll try the 4-7-8 breath, which is awesome for stress. Dr. Andrew Weil, who reintroduced the breath. I like Dr. Andrew Weil, but I have some issues with him, which doesn't bother him at all because he doesn't know who I am. Um, he repackaged it, and offered it to people, and he claims it is the single better than medication for stress. If you suffer anxiety, if you suffer stress, you practice 4-7-8 3 times a day, and your anxiety will lessen by a large degree. And it is in regular rotation in my breath work. My big three, big three breath work is breath of fire in the morning, uh, annulum vilome, which is alternate nostril breathing. Breathe in through the left, hold for a count of 8. I'm sorry, for a count of 16. Exhale for a count of 8. Repeat, out, repeat, out. 10 rounds. Long time says Yogi pays me big loot for them pills. Maddie says, we love you, Miss Yogi, your family. I appreciate that. Maddie, thank you so much. I couldn't ask for a better family, that's for sure. Um, but, breath work, just like medication, you got to take it every day for it to be effective. Happy to help anyone set up a breathwork program that you do morning, afternoon, evening, therapeutically as needed. Oh, I didn't give you my last one. So morning is breath of fire, alternate nostril breathing in the afternoon, and in the evening is usually some version of the 4-8 breath. So I breathe in for 4, exhale for 8, and very often I'll breathe in for 4, exhale for 8 through my left nostril only. Which, as I mentioned before, breathing the left side is the corresponding side to the rest and digest, the parasympathetic nervous state. Breathing through the right is corresponds with the fight or flight. If you need to wake up, you need a little extra energy, breathe in through your right, exhale through your left. Don't lengthen the exhalation. Lengthening the exhalation, it's relaxing, which is good. But if you're looking for more energy, then you don't want to relax. So you can breathe in for your right for a count of 4, and 4. You can increase it if you want. You can actually do the 6 and 4. Very energetic breath. You can also just, it's actually called channeling the sun. When you do it on the left, you're channeling the moon. So you're channeling lunar energy, solar energy. You can actually do um, straight from the right all the time. So if you want more energy, pause, try it. Or if you need to relax, on the left. Skid says, Eric, you know how the song goes? Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is gonna be all right. I do it. I do know the song. I don't know if I can sing it. I don't know rightly if I can sing anything. I keep looking for the perfect song to impress someone. And so far, I think every time I've sung, they haven't been here. It says, "Sing it." I don't know if I can. Let's see by the end of the live stream if I have the courage to give it a try, Skits. We got half an hour left. For the end of the live stream, I'll consider it, Skits. I don't know if I can sing the whole thing. You can come up and sing it with me, Skits. Man, singing with the legendary Skits, that would make me nervous. Michael says, mine's been good so far. I had a Mysteries Untold episode, reached 269 views. Wow, Michael. And 8 likes, and didn't use the right editing glitches. How are your watch hours doing, Michael? Speaking of that, I wonder where our friend on the grind with Nikki. I've had her up today, and I wonder how Runner Boy's doing. Uh, Nikki was, I'm sorry, Nicole. Nicole was under 100 left to hit that 3K. Bunga says that nasal breath hit right to the dome. The 4-4, the one that we all did together. Man, that's a good day's worth of watch hours. 242 in a day. Man, you string a couple of those together during the course of a week. Skid says, now you called me out. I had to call you out. I promise I will come up and sing tomorrow. Well, that would be awesome. Speaking of tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about A Course in Miracles with Miss Blipper. For however long she wants to talk. Skid says, yes, Long John, bro. Skid says, oh, nice. Yeah, we had a conversation messaging about creation versus making. How God creates, God doesn't make. The ego makes. She had some nice points, and I said, if you ever want to come on up and talk about it, and we started on Monday, 1 o'clock. Michael says, Long John says, skits Bob Marley, baby. Anyone see the recent film on his life? It got good reviews. Michael's up to 242 watch time hours today, and my lifetime watch hours is 1,609. You broke the halfway mark. Awesome. Great job, Michael. And I think it's just going to get more and more. You're building an audience. Hey, Bill, it's food season. How are you, my friend? Michael's excited. You should be. This is something you built. But you know what? Before I went live, I was thinking about YouTube and how much I actually really, really love YouTube and love you guys. Everyone puts just so much heart and soul into their channel, what they want to accomplish, what they want to offer people, what they want to share. It's a little gift from the heart. This is why we should be so protective of each other. This is why when um, Manny said apologies for timing someone out, it was like, nope, Maddie, please don't apologize to me. Because you get that. You get what people put into their channels, and they something special to each of us. And it should be protected. We should definitely be protecting each other. Hey Shirley, Yogi, would you please dedicate live to showing us your picture album and tell us the stories? For the ones in my thumbnails, I could do that. I would definitely do that, Shirley. Now, I tell a lot of stories, things that I've done. Hey, CC. And I laugh. Shirley says, yes. Okay, yep, I can do that. By the way, this one, uh, my dogs, Toby and Mandy. Mandy is the corgi, the greatest corgi in the world. All corgis are great, but this was the greatest of all corgis. My dad had a corgi. He would argue. He would. We wouldn't argue, but if he heard me say that, he'd say, "Well, my corgi's pretty great too. Corgis are awesome dogs." And Toby, sorry, got to disturb my cat. Toby. I'm not sure Toby was actually fully a dog. Might have had a little bit of wombat. Might have had a little bit of Tasmanian devil. Corgis are comedians. Hey, sweating and smiling. About a can of peas for my mushy peas pizza. You're a brave man, Adam. Do you like mushy peas? Michael says, yeah, I love the community I'm building. I'm making a growing community like you, but I only mod people that I have known for a while and trust. That's smart. Michael says, laughing, part dog, part wombat. I don't want to imagine how that, I don't want to imagine either. Once accidentally, Toby got into a huge bag of chocolate. It wasn't a big dog. Huge bag of chocolate. Chocolate can be deadly for a dog. Man, I felt horrible. Worse, I felt horrible for the person who left the chocolate. Um, she was just she was so distraught. I called the vet to see what to do. Should I rush him to the vet right away? And the vet said, well, there'd be symptoms pretty immediate. How's he look? And I looked over and he had this big chocolate covered grin on his face. Nothing happened. It was like he was impervious to everything. Skid says, wait, who brought mushy peas? Sweating and smiling. Well, hey, we're doing it with Big Al, Skits. Did you not hear what's going to happen? We're trying a mushy pea pizza. Mushy pizza. Shirley, I love seeing you everywhere today, supporting so many people. Mush pea jam. I think it was, oh man. I couldn't even finish that sentence, CC. Hey, Susanna. Susanna, nice to see you, my friend. Today was National Burpee Day. I saw Buddha was getting in reps. Buddha's still getting in reps. Joe is getting in reps. Trending is singing karaoke. Big day. Hey, Eric Lapointe. Eric Lapointe says, this is from Shirley. Well, thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Eric Lapointe, for sending it from Shirley. Shirley says, Nick loves it when I'm tied up with you guys because that means I'm not bugging him to do chores and exercises. I should start doing more kettlebell live streams just to help Nick out a little bit. CC says, juice peas, gotta try a whole glass. Well, here's the thing, and Skits knows this. I do pea protein powder. Thank you again, you guys. Thank you both. Big day for Eric Lapointe. Here's my question for you, Eric. What's next? It's only you're halfway through 2025. How do you chop? Not that you need to chop, nothing to prove. But like, what is your own sense saying? What should I do? I know you're going to do Reaper's 5-week program. Scary to think what you guys might be capable of doing. Skits is that, but he does do pea protein powder, pull ups and crunches. I didn't see kettlebells. Did I miss that? Um, or maybe you misspelled kettlebells. Maybe instead of crunches, you meant to say kettlebells. Uh, and by pull ups, you mean muscle ups, right? Smart. Yes, kettlebells. Hey, Eric Lapointe, consider this. I didn't steer you wrong with burpees, right? So if I didn't steer you wrong on burpees, I might be pointing you in the right direction with kettlebells. Uncle says, yeah, Yogi, perhaps imagining the pea is a lentil. They're not as different as we might think. I might be more able to eat peas if they weren't round. Cat's got to be rolling her eyes right now. If they weren't round, and if they weren't green, which is weird because I love green and I eat greens every day. Greens are a staple of my diet. I might actually have close to a pound of greens a day. Powdered peas, exactly. So it's not like I'm anti pea entirely. They are a useful food product in powdered form. It's the pre-powdered, the the pre-unpowdered peas. Shirley says Buddha and Hawk Joe are killing themselves doing burpees right now. Hey, what are their I have Buddha up. These guys are hanging out. How many reps are they thinking about doing? Buddha's been going for a while. I do like turnip greens. I like all things green. Twice a day. And then my big meal. You don't even want to know how early my big meal is. I eat my big meal, what would be considered, I guess, dinner, so early that like senior citizens are like, man, that guy eats early. Um, I do it for a reason though. I do it for health reasons. I do it because it has improved my sleep. Um, I'm not weird for the sake of being weird, guys. One, I come by my weirdness completely natural. It's a spontaneous weirdness. It's not a pre-planned weirdness. Um, and much of it is things that just help me feel better. I'm committed to my meditation practice, my yoga, and my breath work because it has helped me my recovery from drinking. It makes me a better human being. I'm committed to my forgiveness practice because it makes me kinder. There was a time in my life I was very much interested in enlightenment. I wanted that awakening experience. And I've had some pretty profound awakening experience through meditation, through plant medicine, through hosts of other things, drumming circles, other shamanic practices, just being out in nature. A large part of that actually just dropped. All I wanted to do was be kind. All I wanted to do was forgive. Forgiveness brought Forgiveness felt like every time I do it, it brings me all the way home. Like I don't need anything else. It's not something that I give to other people. I give to myself. And by giving it to myself, I'm able to give my heart to other people. It's full circle. Shirley says, Sniper, personal question. Have you taken the Mensa test? That's a great question, Shirley. The 7 Ps, unmushed. Thank you for unmushing them. Thank you for keeping them unmushed. Prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. I like that. So anyway, yeah, my early meal is steamed kale, broccoli. It's my first servings of greens, with a usually diced up potato of some kind, um, and the um, lentils and brown rice. Usually I have a couple bananas for dessert, maybe an apple too. And then later in the day, my last meal for the day, it's just light meal. I have a big, huge bowl of greens, usually another diced up apple. Um, I might have another bowl of oatmeal. I have my pea protein shake. Yes, Long John. Yes, can't talk too much about it. You gotta strike. Unfortunately, I keep saying I'm gonna do a members only live stream, demonetize it, and I'm gonna talk all about plant medicine. It is a favorite topic to talk about. I think it's very important, but I also think that we get caught up going through that same door over and over again. It doesn't take us all the way home. Shirley says, I would guess your IQ is higher than Einstein's was guessed to be in the 1960s or so, uh, in the 160s or so. Deborah says, Shirley, nope. I read The Art of War by Sun Tzu when I was 7, though. Michael says, I was told by a friend of mine that my YouTube channel was quirky. I was like, thanks, Mark. I would take that as a compliment. It is a compliment. Quirky means completely yourself and that you are at ease with it. I chew my bananas, Marlon. Hey, Sendesh. Sendesh says, Eric, looking smart. Thank you, my friend. How are you? Sendesh, I thought you were modded up. How you doing, my friend? I don't know if I would consider my channel quirky. And after I chew them, then they are all gone. It says, Michael, I went to a shop before and the person serving asked if I've been up to anything recently. I said, streaming on YouTube. And he said, doing what? I said, working out. And he said, I want, I want something. That's funny. Stitch is here. Stitch is number one. I appreciate that, Stitch. So, Stitch, walking and walking briskly. If I can find someone to help me, maybe a neighbor, um, I will make a video on brisk walking. You want to involve your arms. Cindy says, "How's your health, Eric? My health is good. I got a little sleep deprivation. But other than that, it's good. Strong, fit." Stitch says, "What's another workout that I can do at home?" Let me think about that. The thing is, Stitch, I know you're anxious for results. Results will come from your daily commitment of the basics, not by overdoing it. You overdo it, you get hurt, you get sore, um, and you get the setback, and then you can't do anything for a while. So it's all about being consistent. Thanks for asking, Sandish. Then it says too much office politics and job cuts these days in corporates. Sandish, you're in Seattle, right? Or am I mistaken? Stitch, so how's your diet going? Diet's going to be crucial for you. Shirley says, I'm sure you're above the 140s. Sniper says, Shirley Billy Carlson boasts he has an IQ of 140. The guy can write a book without any citations and add spaces between his lines. Go figure. Sandish says, he's currently in a bit of trouble. My wife is losing her job. I'm sorry, Sandish. Due to office politics, I'm trying to support her and keep her calm. Let's see. That's why I've been inactive last month. Gotcha. Well, I'm glad you're there for your wife, as all of us should be for our spouses. Yeah, I'm sorry, Sandish. Says his mother's here for 4 months, so enjoying homemade food. Nice. I'm glad to hear that. Sniper says, surely I speed read, but I only recollect what I need and not all. It's like photographic, but with discernment added to the memories, if that makes any sense. Shirley says, Stitch vacuuming is a good exercise to. Shirley says, Stitch vacuuming is a good exercise to do at home. You can turn vacuuming into a form of yoga. Honestly, you can turn anything into a form of yoga. Anything. Sis says, cutting back on sugar, meats, and coffee. So, just importantly, what are you eating? Here's what we want to do. We want to go to have a calorie deficit. Um, Keeping track of how many calories you're eating. Thing is, I don't want to overload you. I don't want to overburden you. We can get so retentive, counting calories, counting steps, counting this and counting that. Michael Pollan, he wrote a wonderful book, Food Rules, based upon his other wonderful book, The Omnivore's Dilemma. Speaking of wonderful books, speaking of Michael Pollan, he also wrote a wonderful book on plant medicine. Um, and I don't remember the title, but it actually it got me so close to diving back into the world of psychedelics. Not worth it. Been there, don't need to go back. Hey, David. David says, "Hello, Yogi. Can you talk about box breathing?" I can talk about box breathing. Not only that, if anyone wants, in the next 20 minutes, we could do another round of breath work. We could do some box breathing and some triangle breathing, which is a version. She cooks and roasts says, "How are you? How are you, my friend? It's nice to see you. Thanks for being here." Manny says, "Apologies, I nodded off. You have joined the I Fallen Asleep on the Yogis live stream. There are many, many important people on that list. Eric Lapointe is on that list. Cat and Jack is on that list. Anyone else falling asleep here?" She cooks and roasts, is waving at everyone. Hey, look what I found, Yogi. I appreciate you being here. So, box breathing. It's also called kumbhaka breathing, which means retention, because we're retaining the breath. Traditionally done with a count of 4. Kat says many people are probably doing it right now. Are we talking? Are we talking about many specific people, or many just like in general? Shirley says, "Sniper, your brain fascinates me. It's 11:30. And no wonder you're falling asleep." We're not going to be too much longer. I am determined for an earlier night's sleep. Kat, you made me laugh. She cooks and roasts and sends us some love. Thank you so much. I'm convinced that She Cooks and Roasts quite possibly has the single most entertaining, consistently entertaining every time you visit YouTube channel out there. I'm doing good, my friend. Thank you for asking. Um, so David, you could also do it for a count of 5. I think 4 works best for most people. We breathe in for a count of 4. We hold the breath for 4. We exhale for 4. We hold the retention, or we retain the out breath for a count of 4. In breath, obviously, is called internal retention. Out breath is called an external retention. If you want to supercharge your breath work with retention, when you retain the breath, lightly, very lightly, pinch the nose. That's called the mammalian dive reflex. Scientifically shown. Don't ask me to explain it. I'm not scientifically. I'm just a breath work coach. I'm just a yogi guy that does this stuff. Um, it was studied on Polynesian divers, some of the last of the indigenous people who do free diving for um, amazing, amazing depth on a single breath. Uh, Incredible. When you do that, it triggers a relaxation response. Your heart rate is lowered. Your blood pressure goes down. You relax deeper. This is why they do it when they're diving. We're not diving. We do it for all of those benefits, for all of that relaxation response that we get. Hey, Duncan, you still with us, David? Have you done box breathing before? You're welcome. She cooks the roast. One of my all-time favorite things. I'm lucky. The people who show up on live streams. One of my all-time favorite things is to talk about other people's channel. To not just talk about other people's channel, to talk about other people. Why they have their channels, what they're doing with the channels, how they make me smile, how they inspire me, how they make me feel better. And you, my friend, are all of the above. One second. I dropped my little beads. Um, you do all of the above. You never ever fail to make me laugh. I always leave your live stream smiling, and I'm always inspired. You put so much into what you do. You can tell it's a work of passion, and it comes straight from your heart. Duncan, I still haven't watched Busy Dad yet, but it's on my list for what I'm going to do this week. Thongja says, "I seen that free diving study, Yogi. Awesome. You want to do a few rounds? I'll demonstrate a couple rounds." Stitch says, "Right now I'm eating salad, yogurt, fruit, vegetables, and I drink water and milk." So if you make sure that you get a big bowl of greens in every day and whatever else. Here's a tip I got from uh, Chris McDougall. He wrote Born to Run, big inspirational book for me. He said, if you had a breakfast salad, now that sounds weird. Who wants a salad for breakfast? But he said, if you have a breakfast salad and you put whatever you want on that salad, as much greens as you think you can hold, whatever vegetables else you want to put in, if you want to throw in scrambled eggs and bacon on top of that salad, go ahead and do it. But if you have a breakfast salad every day, you'll never have to worry about dieting again. I don't know, but I've suggested it to people and they've had amazing results. A salad for breakfast. If you have an apple before your biggest meal of the day, an apple before your biggest meal, you'll start losing weight. For one, the apple will fill you up. The pectin, the fiber called pectin in the apple, is wonderful for the digestive system and your metabolism. And you'll end up eating less because you're a little more full from the fiber from that apple. If you add half a cup of your favorite legume, which would be any type of bean that you like, preferably without like the syrup that you get in the can, that kind of stuff, um, you'll start losing weight. What you add in is as important as what you take out. Our friend right here, we have an extremely valuable resource. Thank you, Marlon. I'll let you know. Um, hey, Stitch, our friend, Billion Dollar Syndrome Duncan Walsh, is a fitness master. As she cooks the roast, says, Duncan, I subbed. I need to get in shape. Hey, here's a little plug. If you try one of his programs, and is this across the board? I don't want to overspeak. If you put in the discount code Eric25, you get a 25% discount. So, hey, Stitch, tell our friend Duncan Walsh what you would like to accomplish. Let him know your age, and he can help you. Duncan says, I'm down for the rounds. All right, David, we're going to do that now. Hey, Willa, we're going to do box breathing. This is a little more powerful than the 4x4. Hey, I would agree with your friend. Woman who lived to be 102. She proclaimed that you need to eat a cup of blueberries. I do every single day. Uh, and she walked her big dog. I went to the gym 3 days a week. Amazing. That is amazing. Blueberries are a true superfood. That title's thrown around quite a bit. The podcast is next up, I think. There was another ahead of me. Max is celebrating his recent graduation. Nice. It's been a while since I hung out over at Max's. This guy says, wait, did Yogi just give out a promo code? Bro, you are a pro streamer now? The only one. Billion Dollar Syndrome, Duncan Walsh. Because Duncan's been a big friend, supporter for, it's been a while. Duncan, 3 years maybe? Since before I was doing live streams. And I believe in what Duncan Walsh does. He's given me great suggestions. He's always insightful. And he's a good, caring individual. I will do whatever I can to help out Duncan. All right. So, as promised, just going to do a few rounds. Going to breathe in through the nose. We are going to lightly pinch the nose, and we're going to add in that ujjayi breath. David, the ujjayi breath is making a ha sound as we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, as if you're fogging up a bathroom mirror. That's the sound. So we breathe in, we breathe out for a count of 4. It also helps us extend the breath. So we breathe in for 4, we hold for 4, we breathe out for 4, we hold for 4. You ready, David? You ready, Long John? And Willow, if you'd like to do this too, not really going to do a meditation with it. We just want to get in a couple rounds of breath work. So, but go ahead and close your eyes. Bring some focus to the breath. Make sure that you're breathing in through the nose. Make sure that you're breathing out through the nose. Start practicing that ujjayi breath, that ha. Get that down for a few breaths. Remember, you're going to lightly pinch your nose. You can use your thumb and your index finger. It's very light. Continue breathing with that ujjayi breath, that ha sound. We're going to breathe in for a count of 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Lightly pinch the nose for 2, 3, 4. Release and exhale for 2, 3, 4. Lightly pinch the nose for 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pinch for 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Pinch the nose for 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pinch the nose 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. Lightly pinch the nose 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pinch and hold for 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. And hold for 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. Pinching the nose for 2, 3, 4. And hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. And hold 2, 3, 4. I apologize. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. And hold for 2, 3, 4. breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2, 3, 4. And surrender the breath. And just sit, allowing yourself to breathe relaxed. And when you're ready, open your eyes. See you in the chat. David says, that's good. Awesome, David. 10 rounds. Here's how I count my breaths. My hand up, I start with this part of the finger. It's my index finger. One, go each little pad. 1, 2, 3, and then across. 4, 5, 6, and then down. 7, 8, and then across. 9 and 10. 10 breaths. Tabarak says, can you music Billy Wildflower phone, please? Don't know what that means. And if you want me to play something, I'm sorry, I can't, because who knows what gets copyrighted nowadays. Shirley says, it says to keep her hydrated for sure. Rice and boiled chicken. Can you afford a vet? Oh, uh, your pup skits? You're welcome, David. Sitch says, how much? Our friend Duncan. And I don't know how much his program will be, but talk to Duncan and see what he can do for you. Explain, again, what you would like to accomplish and how old you are. And I will pay Duncan for the program. So, Stitch, don't worry about it. I got you covered. Thank you, Shirley. Speaking of what Shirley's saying, with our dogs when they've been sick, we've used the pumpkin puree, and it has been helpful. Shirley says that was for Skits' Coco. Thank you, Shirley. Long Jeff says, good. I'm glad you liked it. Box breathing, they teach box breathing to Navy SEALs. You can imagine the high stress level. David says, can you please breathe while you don't, can you please explain why you don't breathe through the mouth? Yes. In yoga, they say the nose is for breathing, the mouth is for eating, except certain breaths. My cat's going completely crazy for some reason. We don't want to breathe through the mouth because the mouth doesn't have a filter. We are breathing in all kinds of dust, all kinds of particles, all kinds of whatever happens to be floating in the air, unfiltered, straight into the lungs. The mouth breathing leads to higher stress, higher blood pressure, and it puts us in the sympathetic energy state, which is the fight or flight state. When you are out of breath, when you are nervous, when you are afraid, most of us, unless we're trained, will breathe quickly, will pant, basically. We don't call it panting, but when we're in that fearful state, we're entering that fight or flight and we're gathering as much oxygen as we can. You might have noticed that when you're nervous. Big, big breath in through the mouth, surrendering the breath. I got more to say on that. Let me get down here. Duncan says, hey, if anyone wants to do a program for free in exchange for a review, Eric can still get his commission. Help a yogi out. Thank you, Duncan. Let me get Duncan should be modded up. Of course, during Dallas syndrome, Duncan Walsh motivation is modded up. But let's get Duncan personally. So, hey, Duncan, our friend Stitch Love wants to lose some weight. Stitch, how old are you? She she's very enthusiastic about losing some weight. Doesn't oxygen get to the brain faster too through the nose? It gets to the brain faster when you. There's a reason why when we're entering that fight or flight, we breathe through the mouth because it brings oxygen to the body quicker, which is good because that brings everything into the gets the muscles ready. We're ready to react, but we don't need to be in the fight and flight too much. Bellinger says the person was asking you to play a song, Wildflower by Billie Eilish. Who's a vegan, by the way. 100% get copyrighted. I prefer Tom Petty. And one of my favorite Tom Petty songs. Through that and Learning to Fly. Have you ever heard the live version of Learning to Fly? I don't like audience participation. If I go to a concert to see Tom Petty, I want to hear Tom Petty. I don't want to hear me singing Tom Petty, and I don't want to hear the guy next to me singing Tom Petty. But he does it so beautifully with the audience. That's the exception of the rule. David says, thanks, man. I need to lose weight myself. Hey, Duncan is an expert. Duncan is a professional athlete, world champion, as well as being a coach for Ivy League schools, conditioning coach for Ivy League schools. He knows. He knows. I've been working out forever, literally going on 50 years. Duncan knows more about fitness, more about training, more about helping people uh, than I've gained in that 50 years, almost 50 years. Marlon says, I'd start you out for free, Stitch, if money is the issue. Hey, Teal. So, breathe in through the nose puts us in the parasympathetic nervous state. Parasympathetic is the rest and digest state. It's when we're not sending oxygen and blood into the limbs, we're sending it into, as Shirley was saying, into the brain. We're relaxing. We're pulling it away. We're sending it to the digestive system. Stitch says, did you see my last message? Oh, 12. All right. Duncan, what would you recommend? Duncan says, sorry, I'm back. What did I miss? Our friend Stitch, she is 12 years old. She needs to lose some weight. She really wants to lose some weight. This is an important thing for her. Long John singing, learning to fly. Such a beautiful song, isn't it? What would you recommend? I told her that I would, if you had a program that would work for a 12-year-old young lady, that I would pay you for the program. I saw Tom Petty um, open up for the Grateful Dead. Tom Petty, Bob Dylan opening up. Can't believe opening acts, but they were opening up for the Grateful Dead. Hi, Daisy. Daisy, nice to see you. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap things up in just a minute. I'm glad we got a chance to do the box breathing. So that's why we breathe in through the nose. It's parasympathetic, relaxing, versus sympathetic, which is rest and digest, active. Everyone should be breathing through the nose. If you think you're not breathing through your nose when you go to sleep, put some mouth tape on. You can order mouth tape. Don't use duct tape. Trust me on this. Um, very lightly on the lips. You'll see a difference in your health in like a week. David says, I just subscribed to Dundee. Looking forward to losing weight. Hey, if you put in Eric25, URIC, 25% off. I don't say this because I do get a commission. I say it because I believe in Duncan Walsh and I want to see you guys get the help that you want. Daisy says, I saw Tom Petty too. Love, love, love. Awesome, Daisy. What a great show. Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, The Grateful Dead. 1991 RFK Stadium. Took someone at the time who I considered was the love of my life. Little did I know that I had much more life ahead of me and much, much more love ahead of me too. However, still friends with that person on Facebook. I still love that person. I'm very lucky that I've stayed friends. Everyone I've ever dated. David says, $1 billion syndrome Duncan Wash. Make sure you subscribe and reach out. Daisy says, nice to see you. It's nice to see you, Daisy. It says sweets and burgers and fries. We got some questions from Duncan. You notice how Duncan goes straight to diet. Diet is going to be key. So we're going to give Duncan a minute or two, and then I'm going to wrap things up, guys. Again, I'm glad we got an opportunity to do some box breathing. It's also a good breath. Call it a sleep hygiene breath. It's a good breath to do, especially with the nose pinch and the ujjayi, that ocean's breath. Shirley says, brothers all say diet is 90%, exercise 10%. I would agree. Of course, depending on what you're attempting to do. If you're powerlifting, um, of course, you still want to be careful with your diet. But for health, for weight loss, for overall performance, definitely. Stitch says, I have my mom's. I have my mom buy fruits and vegetables every week. So tomorrow we're getting more fruits and vegetables. Duncan says, okay, how about this? If you do not eat any sweets for 1 week and instead have some fruit every time you want a sweet, you can do that. I will give Yogi. Whoa. Wow, Duncan. What do you think of that, Stitch? That's pretty amazing. Duncan, thank you for that offer. Duncan says, but you must be honest, Stitch. Stitch says, I am honest. I have no doubt. No doubt at all. Stitch is one of our really, really good friends. She comes in the early morning. She hangs out with Kat, and then she'll show up and she'll do some breath work with me. Duncan says, it may be difficult, but you can do it. Stitch says, I don't like to lie. I'm glad to hear that. Not lying is one of the tenets, one of the five yamas of yoga. Yoga begins with ethics. You think yoga and everyone thinks stretching. Yoga begins with ethics and it ends with communion with God. Everything leads to communion with God. Everything is about realizing the presence of God. Stitch says, I can do anything I put my mind to it. Duncan says, weigh yourself before you start and then 1 week after. So you could go from Monday to Monday, Stitch. You can go this Monday. Longdon says, my phone died. Did you see the traveling wheelbarrows? Yogi opening up for the Grateful Dead, Tom Petty, Bob Dylan. It was not the traveling wheelbarrows, actually. It was before they even came about. I think they came in the late 90s. This was in 91, and it was separate acts. Bob Dylan, and then Tom Petty, and then the Dead headlined the show. I was not. I love Bob Dylan. Love Bob Dylan. Um, I was not impressed with him. Now I've seen him in smaller venues and loved him. One of my favorite smaller venue shows, Van Morrison. Pretty awesome. Love Van Morrison. Um, John Prine. I saw him in a small venue quite a few times. Saw him open up for a blue. Saw him and the opening act. I dated the Obro player's daughter. Shirley says, "Do you think she ate some garbage skits?" Skits is going to have to. I hope she didn't eat some garbage. Hey, is there a vet nearby? Duncan says, "Stitch, if you have a sweet, the week starts again." I hope she just needs to get it out of her system. Skits. She ate something bad. Prayer skits. Shirley says, "Emergency vets are few and far between." Yeah, unfortunately. Fortunately for us, we have one not too far. Actually, we have two not too far, 24 hours. I know there might be some. Our friend Willow has gone to one late at night. So, Stitch, can you weigh yourself tomorrow morning? That's okay, Stitch. We love you too. Oh, I'm sorry, Skits. We love you too. Prayers. Prayers to you, prayers to Coco. Long John says, love Van Morrison. Could only imagine seeing him up close. Yeah, it was powerful. I saw Ray Charles at Constitution Hall, and that was pretty phenomenal too. Shirley says, Skits, please post something when you can. Yes, definitely, Skits. Maybe something on the community page. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up and go to bed. Appreciate you hanging out with me, guys. Stitch says, as soon as I wake up, I will weigh myself. So it's going to go from Monday to Monday. Starting tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 9th. Worked out perfectly. David says, got to run, Doc. Have a wonderful day. You too, David. Thanks. Come by anytime for breath work. We'll do it again. Guys, thank you again so much for hanging out with me. Stitch, I'm excited for you. Make sure you connect with Duncan. Subscribe. You can leave a comment on one of his videos if you have a question. Stitch says, yep. Longest says, all this weight talk reminding me I need the fast tomorrow. Got blood work on Tuesday. That's a long time. I'm supposed to get blood work too. It's been a while. Still want to give up my one. I don't mind fasting. I don't want to give up my 1 cup of coffee. It says 9 through 16. Duncan, thank you so much for your help. Duncan says, good luck, Stitch. Eric says, another great live. Thank you, Eric Lapointe. Shirley sends some love to LP. Big day for Eric Lapointe. Hey, Duncan, before I go, Eric Lapointe did 500 psycho burpees. Stitch says, I am subbed. Awesome. Duncan says, we get some grinning from Eric Lapointe. Duncan says, or I'm sorry, Marlon says, taking pictures in the same space with the same light, same lack of clothing, and the same posture, and any interval you would like to objectively see your progress. But I would do it max once a week, maybe just once a month. Sunday is Father's Day. I think those psychos would be right up your alley, Duncan. You're about as explosive as they come. I put you right up there with Tony Hand and Paradox, and Brian Lane and Eric Lapointe. Top 5 all-time explosive people. Some people might say, why don't you put Burpee Reaper there? Because he's in a category by himself. He's so fluid, you don't even realize how explosive he is because he makes it look like water, like a river gently strolling through. It's just he's been hearing me talk about his burpee reps for 5 years. Literally the most beautiful reps in the game. Longest says, thanks for the live, Eric. You're welcome, my friend. I think our friend Kat fell asleep. I hope Kat fell asleep. Duncan says, Reaper is very smooth. Yeah, he is. But when it comes to sheer explosiveness, Duncan, top of the game. You, Eric, Brian Lane, Tony Han, who I haven't seen in a long time. Probably, I think he did something last year on Burpee Day. Was the last time I might have seen him. But we're friends on Facebook. I need to reach out. Stitch says, Kat is also live. Oh, nice. Awesome. Okay. With that, I'm going to see everyone later. Love you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Shirley says, I agree with you, Yogi, but my Jace is the ace. But let me talk about before I go to bed. Because you know what? I would be remiss if I didn't mention Jace. I don't often talk about Jace and burpees because Jace is someone else who's in a league of his own. Jace is just an all-round body weight fitness machine. Now introducing weights into the game, into the mix, and rocking them as well. Um, it's not that Jace doesn't rock burpees; he certainly does, but he does so much um, that when I think of Jace, burpees don't immediately come to mind. Core, his core work immediately comes to mind, and it's just his work capacity, his ability to show up every single day, multiple times a day. But thank you, Stitch. Um, I'm not in the same fitness league as Jace. Poor man says late show tonight. Yeah, the last couple have been late. I'm looking to switch that around, but I'm having so much fun talking to you guys. Thank you for those kind words, Stitch. I don't do too bad for an old guy with kettlebells. And I did a lot. I did a lot with burpees for a long time. Long Jim says, "Don't hate on my boy Jace. We can never hate on Jace. Jace is a brother. We can never hate on Jace." But as I said, um, it's not that he doesn't rock the burpees. It's not that he's not a master of the burpees. It's that he does so much, um, so well that the first thing that comes to mind is usually the core and the fact that he can just keep going and going with a smile on his face. Burpee Reaper and I, and Duncan, for that matter, we used to have some great conversations where we would talk about other people's burpees or reps, always in a complimentary fashion. Because if you're doing burpees, you're doing something right. Um, but how everyone brings something different. Everyone has their own little unique approach. Um, and it's been wild watching Eric Lapointe come into his own as a burpee practitioner. Same with Jace. Jace, this time last year, wasn't doing burpees either. Duncan says, such sweets include ice cream, donuts, all sugary stuff. Sitch says, I know. Yeah, Jace is shredded for sure. Thank you again, Duncan. And Shirley, I agree with you. Jace is ace. Longja says, you look good, Yogi. I'm not doing too bad for 60. I'm happy back with the kettlebells. I enjoyed my um, several years. I'm still doing burpees every single day, and I'm like 1,200 and some days in. I don't do that many every day, but what is Jace's YouTube channel? Unfortunately, I can't drop a link. Uh, Shirley, could you drop a link Jace's channel if you don't mind? Duncan said subscribe. Oh, Duncan, if you go to my homepage, Jace is one of my featured channels. I have um, only one of them changed. I was going to do uh, switch things once a month, but the guys that I have now, they're keepers. They're not changing. I have Toy Pups. I have Jace. I have Eric Point. I have the beautiful Cat and Jack. I have the awesome, wonderful Nick on Nick, and I have No Frills, No Mercy, and I have the Billion Dollar Syndrome, Duncan Walsh. Bet you didn't know that, Duncan. By the way, congratulations to Jace for hitting 3K. Congratulations for Cat and Jack for 835. She's on her way to hitting 1K. Congratulations to Nick, 102 subs. Today is day one, Stitch. Hey, Zane. Zane, nice to see you. All right, I'm overdue. Gotta go to bed, guys. Thank you so much, Shirley. Hey, Duncan, right up above is Jace's link. With that, I'm going to go. Thank you so much, Shirley. Love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you, Eric the Point. Thank you, Maddie. You guys are absolutely awesome. I know Maddie's fast asleep. All right. Stitch says, bye, Yogi. Hey, Stitch, reach out for support. I got you back on this. I'm going to support you 100%. Duncan says, got it. Awesome. Love to see you and Jason do a session sometime. Dan had said that Jace was curling 50 pounds like it was nothing. See, the amazing thing about Jace is how quickly he picks things up. Thank you, Eric. Eric drops the link for Jace too. So we're good to go. So the next time I come out of burpee retirement, semi-retirement, is to get 100 reps in with Dan, and sooner or later, I got to get 100 reps in with Eric Lapointe. Nothing fancy, just 100. Stitch says, bye, Duncan and Eric. Bye, Duncan. Shirley says, good night, dear Erics. Good night, dear Shirley. Cece says, you'll never retire. No, I will do the stuff that I love as long as I can do the stuff that I love. Get a thumbs up from Eric Lapointe. Thank you, Duncan. All right, I love you guys. Take care. Take care, Long John. Hey, good luck with the blood test tomorrow. Or Tuesday, sorry. Take care, guys.